All right, it's 7.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, it's 7 p.m. I'd like to call to order the Town Board of the Town of Lake Mills. This is our regular meeting. It is March 9th, 2021. We're doing this meeting virtually. The notice for this meeting was posted at the town hall and also on the town's website. Item 2 on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to adopt March's agenda as printed.
I'll second the motion.
All right, is there any discussion?
Yeah, could we add a period of public comment again?
I was going to suggest that too, Jim. I think we need to add that under item 8, period of public comment. I was thinking this afternoon that maybe Robin was trying to squeeze it all onto one page. But I think we should always be approachable. So let's add period of public comment as 8 and move applications to number 9.
And then,
Yeah, I think I copied and pasted from a previous one.
Yes.
and then, are we gonna discuss the lawsuit someplace?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Okay,
Would you like to?
well, how else are we gonna handle it? I mean,
I think we should discuss the results. I'm not so sure we should talk about what was given to us by Leverton as a summation. Would you like to?
I mean the new one. They're suing us again, right?
Well, that's what we should discuss, is the results and what the next steps are going to be. Let's add that under new business as B.
I think it's safe to say that it can be for discussion only. I mean, obviously
Yes,
can't be emotions,
yes.
just to clarify.
Yes, yes.
Would it be more appropriate to just have it under correspondence?
That's what I was thinking.
All right, let's do that. That's kind of where
Okay.
it was at as far as it appeared in our packets. It appears to be correspondence.
Okay.
All right, are you satisfactory with that, Jim?
Yeah, that's fine, just so we talk about it.
All right, so with that amendment to add the period of public comment and the discussion on our Britsky Bridge lawsuit, I would ask for a motion to approve the agenda with these corrections.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, and any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving that with the additions, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you for your contributions there. Item 3, approval of the minutes from our February meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as printed for February the 9th meeting.
Second.
Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes as published from our February 19th meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed, the same sign. I might be wrong. I think that was a February 9th meeting, correct?
Correct.
Yes. All right. Item 4, approval of the treasurer's report.
Do you want to do the amendment from
Yeah, I
February?
guess we better do the amendment first. We need to amend the February 2021 disbursements. And the change is the February disbursements need to be amended to $3,026,612.43 to $2,301,415.19. The following February tax settlements checks were written. One to the county treasurer, one to the Lake Mills Area School District, one to the Cambridge Area School District, and one to MATC in the amount of $1,974,802.76. Is there a motion to approve the change in the February disbursements?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the amended February 2021 disbursements, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. All right, now on to the treasurer's report for March of 2021.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for March.
Second.
Is there any discussion or any questions of the treasurer or any of the board?
Nope.
Hearing none, then all in favor of approving the March 2021 treasurer's report, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. The treasurer's report is approved. Item 5, approval of the town board expense sheets. You will have several of those in your packets. I guess Sharon, you just have one of those, correct? You didn't have one, did you, Robin?
No, not yet this month, not until
No,
the
you
election.
had one last month,
This is just Sharon's.
right?
I make a motion to approve Sharon.
Second.
Is there any questions or discussion? Sharon's expenses amount to $112.84. So all in favor of approving this expense sheet, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Now the general funding vouching.
Make a motion to approve March disbursements of $84,163.96.
Second the motion.
Are there any questions or discussion on the disbursements?
Not on my end.
No.
Hearing none, then all in favor of approving the disbursements as published, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Now, item 7, on to reports. The police report. Officer Miller.
So for the month of February, we had 60 hours of road patrol, handled 9 complaints. Spent 7 hours handling those complaints out of the 60 hours. Had 24 traffic stops, 9 warnings, 17 traffic citations, 16 hours running stationary radar, 5 ordinance citations were issued, 11 residence and business checks, 20 park checks, and we had 6 extra patrols. We are having a boat officers meeting this Friday at 5 p.m. to get set up and get started on getting our stuff set up for the boating season, which will be coming up here quick. Other than that, it's not been too bad.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for getting ready for that boating season. It looked pretty solid out there today, but I'm sure it's coming along. Thank you. Jim, do you have a report from the Planning Commission?
Yeah, we only had the one petition for a rezone for Arlen Bloomgren, which was approved unanimously, whatever. That is it.
All right, thank you. Item C, David, Cambridge Fire and EMS report.
Nothing happening there. Our meeting, as was on the minutes, is the next one is scheduled as March 18th. And the rest I'll save until old business.
All right. Thank you for serving on that committee. Joint Rock Lake Committee report. I did attend their meeting. They have some things that they have sent to us in communications that we'll discuss later that you guys will need to begin to entertain. Item 8 then, Public Works. I haven't heard anything from John Reich, but I know that he is still attending those meetings via Zoom while he's in Arizona. Item 9 or 8 then is a period of public comment and questions. For anyone in the audience, we almost always have this on our agenda. If you would like to make a comment on anything, this is the time to do it. We will not be discussing it any further or moving it along for any decision, but go ahead and shoot if you would like to make a comment on anything.
I would like to, Hope.
Go ahead, Tom.
Good evening. It's a privilege to speak to amongst everyone tonight. like to start off by thanking the Town Board, Joint Rock Lake Committee, Planning Commission, and the town law enforcement for all your years of dedication and service. It's unparalleled. As it was mentioned in the Lake Mills Leader article last week, my name's Tom Beekle, and I'd like to introduce myself as a write-in candidate for the Lake Mills Town Board Chairperson. My family has resided in our fine town for more than 20 years, and we've actively participated in it right from the beginning. We really enjoy doing so. Why do I think I'm qualified? I feel that my expertise at the national and state level and chairperson experience will immediately benefit each town resident. My desire to learn in combination with great listening skills, respect for each opinion, vision, and ability to reach compromise in difficult situations are needed attributes for this required position. They've allowed me over time to seamlessly work with each organization I serve, keeping the environment fun and vibrant, allowing each team to generate desired results. This humble approach has also led to an increase in participation of future prospects that we desperately need to volunteer and serve in organizations in our community activities. For those of you that are interested in learning more about me, I'll be hosting an outdoor general horticulture QA session the first day of spring, March 20th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the spacious Court Park Pavilion. On this day, I will also provide information for the FFA fundraiser that will take place April 10th to help our wonderful students of Lake Mills ambitions. Please come with your questions to kick off our spring, and I hope it comes very, very soon. I would like to close by commemorating Hope for all her dedicated service over the years. Thank you for your efforts to lead the town of Lake Mills, keeping it a great place to live. We have truly enjoyed it. I hope you will be active helping each of us with your experience for many, many more. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Gee, thanks, Tom. That was nice. Appreciate it. Maybe at this point, we should remind everyone that we do have a spring election on April 6th. Maybe Robin, you would give some details about what is available as far as absentee voting and what your balloting hours will be on that day.
Absentee voting, you can make the request starting now. I don't have the ballots in hand yet, but as soon as I do, they'll be mailed out. I have several requests already on file. They'll get those, right off the bat. If you're not sure if you requested one, you can email me. You can check out myvote.wi.gov and check your status on there and make your request through that. That's a fantastic way because it streamlines the entire process. As far as the voting day, the hours are as usual, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You bring your photo ID and wear a mask if you're able to.
I appreciate you recapping that, Robin. Thank you. All right, moving on. Item 9, applications filed. Item A, discussion and/or decision of a request made by Arlen Bloomgren to create 2 A3 lots from property at the intersection of State Highway 89 and Mansfield Road. Currently zoned A1, exclusive agricultural. The request is on parcel 1. I won't even read that. And you are here. The buyer is here. Is that you, Theo? And Mr. Bloomgren is here. Appreciate you guys dialing in, and I appreciate your time to serve, to come to the Planning Commission too. Why don't you explain to us what you'd like to do, and we'll go forward from there.
She wants you to explain what you want to do. She wants you to explain what you want to do.
Want to do?
Yeah,
well,
you want to change it from A1 to A3.
Yeah, oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Theo, you can catch him up on this.
Okay,
We can
so,
get through this.
Arlen's owned the property since '71, and he is looking to change the zoning from A1 to A3.
And I said at our planning committee meeting, I think that that was just a little like a forgotten parcel that never really got updated. And so there was no problem with this at the planning commission. And I would motion to approve the change in the lots from A1 to A3.
I'll second that motion, Hope.
Is there any discussion or questions from the audience or from anyone else?
These are for both lots.
Yes.
Two lots.
That's it.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the request from Arlen, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. I know it's been difficult to reach us and now to do this by Zoom. We appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you. And
Thank
best
you.
wishes. Thank you.
And Hope, I just want to add that I'll take this paperwork up to the town hall tomorrow morning for you to sign. So we
Okay.
get it out to the county right away.
And then you know the process, Arlen and Theo, that this will go to the county with our recommendation. And then you will need to follow through with the county and go to their next zoning meeting when they notice that.
Is that on April 15th?
I'm not exactly sure. You'll have to stay tuned. They do a really good job of letting you know when that is. And they also notice the neighbors around you if there are any objections. So thank you.
Thank you.
Just stay tuned. I'm sure they'll keep you in the loop. I know with COVID restrictions, they've been running a little behind. So just stay tuned.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Item B on our agenda in applications, a discussion and or decision of a request for an operator's license made by the Crokeville Oasis. And the applicant's name, I don't have it in front of me right now.
Jacqueline Davis.
Thank you. Matt, have you done any checking on this?
I have checked her background and I see nothing that would prevent on my end from her from getting a permit.
All right, well, I then will make a motion to approve an application for an operator's license for Jacqueline R. Davis associated with the Crokeville Oasis. Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion or questions?
Just on the, for future, Robin, black out their driver's license and social security number. For us.
That's a really good suggestion, Jim. Thank you. All right. Moving on then to item 10, new business.
You gotta call the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor of approving this operator's license, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. Thank you for your suggestion, Jim. Item 10, new business, a review of commission and committee appointments up for renewal in April. I spoke with both the planning committee and with the Joint Rock Lake Committee about their appointments. Robin has provided you in your packet with a sheet of those appointments that are coming due. I asked those people to indicate what they would like to do in as far as service to the township. Those appointments will then be made later on at our April meeting or our annual meeting. Does anyone have any questions or suggestions?
I just want to clarify, it has to be done by the town board, so it would not be at the annual meeting, it would be at the town board meeting.
All right. No problem. The positions that are open and are rotating, Steve Nass is up for reappointment on the planning committee. He serves a 2-year term. Sarah Mushka is up for reappointment on the planning committee. She also serves a 2-year term. The planning committee also has a member of the town board that serves for 1 term, and that is Jim Hines and has been. So when the board reorganizes, that will be something that you guys will need to approve. Also at the Joint Rock Lake Committee, Wes Dawson is up for reapproval, and so is Stan Smaneski. I do not know whether they are intending to return or not. Also the Joint CATV Regulatory Board, which I don't believe has met. Jim, you were the appointee to that. and John Wright was the appointee to the Public Works Board. That is a 3-year term. So I guess as we spin along here, also Dave Schrader on the Lake Mills Fire Department Advisory Committee, for what that's worth, Dave.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yep.
So if anyone in the audience or at home would like to look at these positions and talk to us about what they mean, I guess we'll wait and see how the others who have already served will, if they will re-up, and we'll go forward from there in a new year. All right. Item 11, old business. Item A, oh darn, I was supposed to text him. Joe Cooper, discussion or decision of buoy work with contractor for Rock Lake. I was supposed to text him and now I don't have my phone next to me. He would join us by video or by his phone. Perhaps we can put that off and get a hold of him. Do you have his cell phone number, Robin? I do on my phone. I'll go get it. The next item on the agenda, just for lack of time or space of time here, is discussion or decision of the RFPs for lawn care and mowing services for the town of Lake Mills. We put this out for bid. I'm going to go find my phone. Why don't you explain what has come in, Robin, and how you're going to share the information with us?
Okay, so while she's getting her phone, I received 2 bids that we have here that were received by March 5th, which was the deadline at 5 p.m. So it's just the 2. So what I can do is I can open them and read them to you, or I can open them and scan them in quick and then do a shared screen. Maybe once we see them to see how complicated or uncomplicated they are, maybe we'll decide whether or not you want me just to read them to you or if you want to actually physically see them before you make a decision. So any thoughts?
Start out by just trying to read them to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got, hope to catch you up here. We have 2 that we received by 5 p.m. last Friday as required by our notice. So I'll start opening them unless you say no. You're on mute, by the way.
Well, that's probably good too.
Okay. And I'll go slow so you can write everything down. Okay, so this one is from Rock Creek Grade LLC in Lake Mills. And he's got, this is Matt Hazel. That's who owns Rock Creek Grade. Okay. So for mowing and weed control and debris pickup at the town hall, or I should just say all the 7 sites listed, I'm saying 7. He's got a rate of, I'm understanding this, $200 per mowing. He uses a John Deere Z-Track 61-inch with striper kit, a Stag Turf Tiger. He's got weed control equipment like weed whackers, blowers, brush cutter. He's got a pump sprayer. Baby pump will be on site during services for any debris, or baby dump. So it must be some sort of collection. Maintenance done on a weekly basis as one event for all 7 locations. Owner is a lifelong resident of Lake Mills with 20 years of experience. He has tax added on here, but obviously tax is not included, so it's $200 even per mowing. Again, just as certificates of insurance are with it.
Does it indicate, Robin, how many weeks that is?
No, I think, I know it's really hard to see. He basically just broke down just with the 1 amount per mowing. So then he lists all the items. So it doesn't say how many weeks, but it probably would be dependent on how many weeks we really need them, I would think.
We usually run about 30 to 35
Okay.
mowings.
So
That's a
do
good-
the calculation if somebody wants to do that calculation while I open the other one.
I'm working on it.
Well, 30 would be $6,000. But anyway,
Okay, so this one is from PGC, Precision Ground Control, and I believe that's the one that helped fill in last year. Okay, what I understand here is they have one sheet per site. You just double check. Okay, so the first one is Phillips Park. It looks like all the descriptions are pretty much the same here, except for the amount for the first one. Okay, so Phillips Park, mow property, trimming where needed, pick up yard, which like the debris and larger sticks, clean off hard surfaces every week, $100 per occurrence. This is for Phillips Park. Then they offer the spring cleanup, just kind of the general spring cleanup of extra debris from the winter for $200 per occurrence, and then a fall cleanup for the same for $200. For the next site at Ferry Boat Launch, it's the same description. It's $50 per occurrence. For spring pickup and fall pickup, it's $100 each. That's for the Ferry Park location. Majola Park, same description again about mowing, $50 per occurrence, $100 for the fall, for the spring and fall pickup for each. Cooper's Lot, or the access on Elm Point Road, he's got, again, same description, $50 per occurrence, a spring cleanup for $100 and a fall cleanup for $100 for each. The Town Hall site, again, mowing and trimming, $50 per occurrence. Again, a spring cleanup of $100 and a fall cleanup of $100. Elm Point, mowing and trimming again is $50 per occurrence. Spring cleanup is $100 and fall cleanup is $100. County Highway B and Rock Road Triangle, mowing and trimming again is $50 per occurrence, and spring cleanup and fall cleanup are $100 each. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the way I'm reading it, it is, if you're looking for all of the 7 sites to be one occurrence, you have to add the $100 for Phillips Park and $50 each for the rest of the sites for 1 week's mowing, or one occurrence.
$400 for mowing.
400, correct. I don't know, is anybody here from Precision? I don't think so. Oh wait, hang on, I got 2 in the waiting room here. Joe Cooper is waiting to get in, and Margaret Krieger, so hang on. Okay, nobody from Precision Lawn Care though, so. And those are the 2 bids that we received.
What's the insurance? They both have insurance?
I don't see one for Precision Ground Control, but I believe I had received one from them last year when I requested it, because I needed to have one on file for doing our audit. So there's not one with the paperwork itself, just so you know.
What about Haas?
He had his with the paperwork.
Okay.
This is here. I'm just gonna double check my email quick to see if they maybe emailed one over.
Well, they had one last year, right?
I believe so, yes. I know I had requested one.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I think I might have sent my bid in to the wrong person. I think I sent it to Hope when I think I should have sent it to you.
Did you
Well,
send-
Sam, I don't have your bid at all. Where did you send
Really?
it? I don't have
Okay.
it. Did you send it by email or by mail?
Yeah, I sent it via email. Let's take a look. Let's see here. Let's see, I sent it to townoflakemillschair@gmail.com.
Well, that's unfortunate because that
When-
email has never worked. Did you send a copy to Robin, to the clerk?
When did you?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Well, and those were the instructions that were given, you know, to send that directly to the clerk or to deposit it in the mailbox or to put it in the mail to the town hall.
Mhm.
So I guess we've had a breakdown in communication there, Sam. Sorry about that.
So, yep, sorry about that.
When
That
did
must
you
have been
send
my
it, Sam?
mistake. What was that?
When did you send it? What? Do you have a
I
timestamp
sent
on
it
that?
about 10-15 minutes before the deadline via email.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, because I know when you and I had talked, Sam, I had given you the instructions on how to submit it as well.
Yeah, because I probably just didn't remember it.
Okay.
So, sorry about that.
All right, we thank you for your attention though, and your attention to forming a bid. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
The way I do the math is if Matt Hazel is around $6,000 for the year, Precision kind of calculates out to be about 13,600 is the way I do the math. I don't know. Jim, Hope, did you kind of add it up a little bit?
Yes, I guess
Yeah.
I guess I really expected that we would receive something like we mow 27 weeks and this is what we're going to charge per week. I think we're kind of in a guessing game here with how many weeks, you know, and I think this whole idea of a cleanup kind of throws a wrench in the works, you know.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, that's about a $1,600 thing. But if you take the $400 added up across the board times 30 weeks, that's 12 grand.
Yeah.
Matt Hazel's definitely, or Rock Creek Grade LLC is definitely lower.
The only thing is, you know, Matt does have a full-time job, and I know in the bid, it specifically says daylight hours only. And I think we really do need to stick to that. Because I do see some of these commercial guys, no offense to anyone, mowing in the dark and the rain, which I'm not sure if that's a real good, you know, practice.
So maybe that should be a condition of approval, that they mow during daylight hours, even though it's not really, it wasn't put in the bid information, but I think you could add that as a condition.
Yeah, I believe I read it somewhere. I don't know if it was in the RFP or where it was, but I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere. But if not, it should be in there. I mean, I don't think we want somebody mowing in the park, you know, in Sherwood Hills North at midnight or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, why
it's-
don't
Dave,
you make
it's-
that motion?
Dave, it's in the requirements in the bid, RFP. It says the, town designated representative reserves the right to delay services during period of low or no growth, and work must be completed during daylight hours and safety precautions taken.
Yep. Yeah, I thought I read it. Thanks, Jim.
So if he, I mean, you put that clarification in if you accept him, I guess. You know, it says that, so he has to do that.
Yeah, you know, it's half the cost. So I guess I'd like to make the motion to accept the bid for the mowing of the town's property from Rock Creek Grade, Matt Hazel, owner, for the approximate $6,000, which would be $200 for each mowing, approximately one mowing per week, done during the daylight hours only.
I'll second that. Is there any more discussion or questions?
How long is this bid going to be considered? I mean, we don't have like a formal contract. Do we have a certain, are we gonna say it's good for 1 year or?
I think it's 1 year, see how they do.
Yeah,
Evaluate them again next year.
I agree.
All right.
Call the question.
Yep, we have a motion on the floor. Are you ready to vote? All in favor of approving a contract for 1 year for Rock Creek Grade LLC, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Joe is now available. Let's bring him in. His item is discussion and or decision of buoy work with the contractor, which is Coconut Pearl in the form of Joe Cooper for buoys on Rock Lake in this season. Good evening, Joe.
Hey-o.
Why don't you just outline for us what work you're going to begin? I know you've ordered some supplies and you're getting ready to roll. Just give us an outline of what you're going to do in the next few months.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be, I think, pretty typical, right? So the buoy, once the ice is off, put the buoys in. We have 4 new buoys this year, 2 slow no wake, 2 shoal buoys that will be placed in with anchors and new anchors and new chains. And so that's really what's going to happen once the ice is off.
All right. You guys have any questions for Joe? You know, there was some discussion earlier about using an ice spar as a marker for each one of these buoys. And just to bring the details forward, this has been discussed by our police department. It's also been discussed by the Joint Rock Lake Committee. And Wes did a good job of reaching out to our warden and asking him what he thought. I guess these bars are used in many places. If we decide that we would like to use the spars just for convenience, safety was one of the things that we discussed, and also the need for a permit that matches that. Our buoy system is already permitted by the DNR, and there's a map with GPS locations that accompanies that. And if we decide that we would like to use these spars, no matter how they're mounted, we will need to apply for a secondary permit for those kinds of devices. Just so that's on the table.
Yeah, I mean, hope to add to that. I guess my thought on it was perhaps as we go into the fall and for the winter, we could get approval to at least do a pilot of 1 for the winter and see, how that works. We could maybe pick even a placement location that's sort of lower risk if we want. And I don't know what kind of regulations there are. I mean, another thought I had is what kind of regulations there are for speed limits, et cetera, on the ice after dark, or for your risk points too, if any. But those are just my thoughts.
We have an ordinance on the books for ice driving, Joe. Perhaps you could look that up and we could talk about that,
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Hey, really appreciate you dialing in. Thank you so much for your service. Someday
Yeah, no
that
problem.
ice will be gone.
Fingers crossed soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Item C, discussion and update of recent snow plowing issues related to obstructions within the right-of-way on the town's roads. Who's going to address that?
I think that's just a carryover from the last month's meeting. I don't think it has to be on there anymore, but I see there was 1 mailbox hit. We pay for that, right, Robin?
Yes, I believe that's the Dybel family. They did contact me and asked for a reimbursement. I believe our policy is $25. So that will have to be, if you guys want to approve that tonight, we can cut a check right away, or the check can wait until next month. So you'll have to let me know.
I think that our snow policy says $40. Am I wrong? I think we better check that and go back to that next month.
Okay.
I can't remember what the actual reimbursement is.
They do ask that they always make a formal request for that reimbursement, so we have a record of it.
Yes. All right. Moving on, item D, discussion or decision to discuss the development of the future expansion of the Cambridge area fire and EMS. David,
Yes, ma'am. Right now, tonight, there is a Zoom meeting that's going on. It started at 6:30 and it goes until 8 o'clock. And that is a Q&A between Bob Saloff and Tim and Terry on any questions that may come up on, what's actually going on and what the expansion all entails. So that is tonight. Now, the next 3 Tuesday nights in a row, beginning on the 15th, I believe it would be, no, the 16th, the fire station is going to be open for visits from 6:30 until 8 o'clock. And the fire chief and the assistant chief will be there for personal tours and also for question and answers, so folks can get a feel of what's going on there. The other thing that's going on is the Thursday prior to the election, there will be a mailer going out to all the town residents on information on the referendum. The other thing, Robin, is they're going to be putting together a town-specific posting that we can put on our website that would explain our costs compared, just ours, so you're not clouded by the rest of the municipality. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. We're working on that right now. So hopefully we can get that out here shortly so that folks have plenty of time to look at it. So that's really kind of about where we're at. I know there's a YouTube for a positive of why this should happen. And there is also a negative campaign going on out there. So it goes both ways. And Hope, I don't know if you've looked into that or not. I have not, because I don't want to go there. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, right. One thing I was going to say, Dave, whatever we post on the website needs to be neutral, nonpartisan, unbiased type material. So the posting, I would assume they know that, and that's what we'll get to post.
Sure. Yeah. And I could talk to Terry again tomorrow to make sure that it just states the facts. That's all.
Correct.
Yeah. So
The other thing I'd like to add is, so everybody understands, that this referendum question will be on everyone's ballot, regardless if they're in the fire district or not, because the way our tax levy works, the entire town of Lake Mills pays towards that budget for the Cambridge and for the Lake Mills Fire Department is dispersed within our budget. So even if you're not in that fire district, that referendum question will be on the elector's ballot.
Yep, and for the vote too. So that's it.
Hope, you're on mute.
I'll get it someday. So again, the two dates that the fire station is open for inspection are the 16th and the 23rd from 6:30 to 8, correct?
Correct.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Dave? Guess we'll wait and see what the electorate has to say. Appreciate your service on that committee, David.
You betcha.
Item E, discussion of a committee with appointments to serve the Town Facilities Committee. I put this on the agenda because I think it's time we start to think about this. Again, this would be something that would be approved by the town board in the next rotation of meetings. But I think we have some people who are interested in serving on this. I spoke with Corey Horton, our engineer, today. I kind of was saying, where do you think we're at here? And he was going to try to stir up a little bit of action from the architectural firm, HSR, that we contacted. I'm sure that this is going to start to come around now that spring is here. So I have made several suggestions for people who might be interested in serving on this committee. I've talked to a few of them. I will submit this list to the town board and you guys can go forward on this in the future. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I'm suggesting that we have a committee of 6 or 7, and at least 2 of those people be people who are on the town board. But I think I've got a few people who are interested and are supportive of this and who have some expertise that might be able to really benefit the town as we begin this process. You guys have any other input on that or any names you'd like to submit?
This is the only question, comment I got, I guess, on the 2 town board members. Then every time they meet, you're gonna have to post it, so
I guess you're right. I guess you're
would
right.
stick to
I was
one.
thinking it would be great if we could have an odd number. And
Yeah.
I know you are truly interested and I know Robin is truly interested. So I guess you guys can figure that out.
The one thing, if you do have, you could have 1 voting member and 1 non-voting member, so Sharon or I could serve on it. That way, when it comes to the meetings, they don't have to be posted. I mean, I have a feeling I'm going to be involved either way, just to get things organized, so.
Well, you're going to be the conduit for information and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. And I know you have a vested interest in this. And I know you do too, Jim. I know you've been really involved so far. So you guys can think about the structure of that committee. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other names. So, you know, you guys can look at that. I'll submit those to you and we can go forward from there. Just wanted to kind of talk that over and lay down some good tracks in the transition here. So we'll move on. No more discussion on that tonight. Let's talk about correspondence because we've got a whole lot of that. You have a folder of that, Robin. How do you want to do this?
Unmute myself. I got a letter from Rfps Services, kind of outlining what his services are and the hourly rates for the labor, equipment, rates per ton, trucks, brushing, mowing, etc. And he does have a copy of his insurance with that, just kind of as a reminder what he's able to provide. Then we do have the information about, hold on here, from the Joint Rock Lake Committee with a recommendation to change the slow no wake from the shoreline. I believe the current amount or distance is 100 feet, and I believe they are suggesting 200 feet. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this letter is in your packets as well for you to review. If it's something we should have on the agenda next month, please let me know so I can put that on the list.
I think we gotta get, they want to move ahead with this, and they've talked about this for quite a while, so.
Put
I
it
think-
on the agenda.
Yeah, so we get it done this spring or before people start going in the water, I guess,
Okay.
for April's meeting.
Okay. Then we have, of course, the information about the lawsuit. I don't know if somebody would like to head that up and explain that, those who have read it.
Well, I guess I'll start out here. I don't know if the whole audience knows that we have been in a dispute over the Britsky Bridge, which is basically the only bridge here in the town of Lake Mills, with the Jefferson County Farm Drainage District. And this lawsuit has been dragging on since, I believe, maybe 2016. And so through a long court process, what has happened is that the court has deemed that the town of Lake Mills has done all we can, and that the judgment was entered, that it is hereby vacated. And there is, that the town has performed its obligation to clear drain 15, otherwise known as the Britsky Bridge, as ordered in 2018. So I felt good that we had satisfied this. It's been an ongoing thing. And then in the notes that our attorney, Lee Leverton, has sent to us, it seems that the drainage district is asking to pitch another lawsuit. And this lawsuit, I didn't really understand the term. Maybe some of you guys do, but it is a de novo hearing, which
That just
basically
means it's a new trial.
it
Right.
really basically starts the process all over again, and that's really disappointing to me. Lee has given us some recommendations. Over the course of this lawsuit, I have spoken with the county administrator about this and the frivolousness of it. I don't think that anyone really has any control over the Jefferson County Drainage District or its personnel. I feel disappointed that this has got to start again. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Lee has made the suggestion that we turn this over to our new municipal attorney. I guess it remains to be seen how we should progress on this. It's certainly not worth any more money being spent because water is still flowing down the creek as it has for 100 years.
Yeah, I agree. My opinion is that it is a frivolous lawsuit to start it over. And I don't know, I think, to go to a new attorney, it's 1 month away. The trial's April 8th, correct? So I don't think it's in our best interest to go to a new attorney on this. I think Lee has been involved. Rather than bring Eric up to speed, I think we should stick with Lee Leverton and get it done and do it again, I guess. And I would highly recommend that we go for a countersuit for a frivolous act, which I believe under this new trial and an appeal, which this is, that you can do that. But I'm not an attorney, but I think we should ask Lee that and go after them for our attorney's fees and everything else, anything we can get back from.
Right.
I feel we're gonna win it again, but it's just, I don't know why they keep bringing it up, but this drainage board hates the town of Lake Mills. I guess that's my opinion.
I agree, Jim, with you because Eric would be viewing this at 10,000 feet, where Lee has been at the ground level of this thing. So he knows this thing inside and out. And I agree with you with the frivolous lawsuit. I think we should go ahead and file a counterclaim and recoup any money we're going to be spending or already have spent.
And I'd like to add so that the electors understand, we budgeted only so much per year for legal fees, and we've already exceeded our budget for this year due to the lawsuit.
I just think it's a terrible way for the Jefferson County Drainage Board 3 members to spend the drainage board's money in this lawsuit. That's my political statement.
You're on mute, Hope.
It's been my understanding that if they run out of budgeted money, then they run whining to the county to get more, and the county is forced to fund them. So it's a real interesting thing.
Actually, Hope, what happens there is they have to keep a 5% in the kitty. So if they fall below that 5% in the kitty, then the drainage board has to go to a judge. Then the judge has to order assessment for everybody that's in drain 15, A, B, C, D, which then now I'm paying on both ends.
Yeah, it's frivolous. It's totally frivolous.
As a drainage district member.
Well, I concur with you guys. I think this, I will reach out to Attorney Leverton this week and tell him what your thoughts are. He will look at our minutes and hear what your thoughts are. And I guess we'll just wait and see what happens then. I did not read that date of April 8th, but that's coming up pretty fast here. And that's in front of Judge Brantmeyer, so that might be a real good thing. Is that satisfactory for you guys?
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Lee and then I'll get his communication to go to all of us after that. Appreciate it. I wish that thing was not hanging over our heads.
Yeah, we got excited for a few minutes, right?
Yeah, just for a few minutes, and that didn't last very long. Okay, there's one more thing in the correspondence that's in my packet here, Robin.
For Axley.
Yes.
Yep, so they sent a notice about the pier issue at the Pie. The Rock Lake Association, Inc. We understand that Vicky and Glenn Avery own a riparian strip along which has a pier. It is located to the right of the Pie, as we refer to it, parcel. When looking at the lake, the pier is within the Avery's line of navigation. However, the lift, which is shown on the attached photo, encroaches on the Pie's lines of navigation on their property. We understand the property is currently for sale and wanted to make sure that everyone is on the same page regarding their water rights on this particular site. Under Wisconsin water law, they have a right to the pier within 6 feet of the lines of navigation, and they would have the right to 2 boat slips if they had more area within the water. Since they only have 6 feet, the boat slip encroaches into the Pie's property. Parties have worked together over the years. However, with a new owner, there might be an opportunity to add an additional slip into the Pie's property if the buyer or seller were interested in combining the 6-foot area with the Pie property. This could only be done if the members of the Pie would agree to such a new configuration. In addition, with the Wisconsin DNR, would have to do an amendment to the current Pie Pier permit. Say that 3 times. Is there any interest in pursuing this possibility? If there is, my client would call a special meeting. Alternatively, the property is 6 feet, would be able to have a pier, but a boat slip or hoist does not work as it is encroaching on the Pie lines of navigation. If there are any historical variances or permits, the Wisconsin DNR would likely have them. We're looking for the Wisconsin DNR to draft a response so the new buyer can be aware of their water rights. And that just has some attachments of what it looks like.
When I received this letter, I sent it on to the gentleman that I was working with at that time, who was in charge of holding the hearings on the approval of the Pie Pier. And I sent this letter on to him and I said, you know, now we have a bigger mess. I know just what you're thinking, Jim. We always have a bigger mess down there. It never seems to go away. To me, this is an act of takings. And I wish that the Pie Pier members wouldn't push this issue and that they would indeed learn to cooperate with those neighbors. I know the property is listed. I guess it's really none of our business as a town board to be involved in this, but this decision made by the town board is going to haunt us into the next few decades, especially when the city positions its new Sandy Beach Pier right next to this 6.5 feet. You guys have anything you want to add to this?
No.
It's disappointing to me, the troubles that we have on Sandy Beach Road. It's just disappointing to me. Let's move on. Item 13, meeting scheduled. Our spring election, you heard the recap on that, is scheduled for April 6th. That meeting also collides with the first Tuesday of the month with the Joint Rock Lake Committee. They have moved their meeting to April 7th, which would be Wednesday. The Plan Committee has moved its April meeting to April 7th at 7 that same evening. The annual meeting of the town of Lake Mills will be April 20th at 7 p.m. It says in our minutes situation to be announced where we will meet, whether we will meet virtually or in person. And then on April 20th, the town board meeting will follow immediately after the regular, the regular meeting will follow immediately after the annual meeting. I guess what I'd like to discuss is how you guys feel about doing that meeting either on site at the town hall or by Zoom. And I also thought we should discuss if we would like to do a road tour in April, how you'd like to approach that.
Yeah, I was thinking too, the same thing as the road tour. Robin, that really needs to be on April's agenda So, and whoever, our new town chair is gonna be, to put it in the back of their mind that we need to schedule that probably shortly after our meeting. I don't know, Jim, I'd like to get it done in April still, so that if we do have any money to bid, we can get things rolling. So I guess that's my thought on the road tour.
Yeah, I agree. Should be on April's agenda and done it. Do it right after the April meeting.
There's
Okay.
still one more week in April, after the 20th, so there should be time for you guys to get that scheduled, but I think you need to kind of book that in.
I
Right.
guess the only question, Dave, is how comfortable are you? We're all three or four gonna be in a vehicle together. It doesn't bother me. I should be all, had both my shots by then, so I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know, Jim, I'm okay with it. If we, we want to wear masks, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm okay with it. I'm a member of the general public, so I don't get my shot. I'm at the end of the line. So hopefully there'll be a glitch and we can get them in time, but I guess I'm okay with it.
Well, we'll definitely wear masks, but I just,
Um,
we'll talk about that in April, I guess, but
Yep.
figure out how we're gonna do it.
just kind of keep that open in your minds of that last week in April. You're gonna have to pick a day and go out and do it. And if I'm needed to help with that, I should be vaccinated fully by that time too. That could be a 2-car deal. I guess we'll just figure it out. I don't want to insert myself someplace I don't need to be. What do you think about an in-person annual meeting or a Zoom annual meeting?
As far as the Zoom meeting, we had that road salt thing. There were 100 people on that. And they use the chat room or whatever to get questions. Can we do that?
Yes, we can definitely do that. I think it would be difficult for me to do both, meaning having people at the town hall that can't participate via Zoom, unless they piggyback with you, Jim, if you happen to be there, where if they have a question, they could go through kind of your computer. It would be difficult for me to manage that as well as the Zoom meeting if there's chatting going on as far as communication. But we can try if everybody's patient.
Well, I have to be up here anyway at the town hall, so, I mean, I can sit up here and if people want to come in here, that's fine with me.
Okay. That kind
And
of divides at least.
There's plenty of room to distance there, and you've got your partitions and stuff. I think that'll work really good. So we agree that we're going to do the annual meeting and the April meeting virtually.
Mhm.
All right. I would then make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Yeah, before we do that, Hope, I was
Yeah.
kind of curious, what happened on the Schwartz variance? Did you happen to take that in?
I did take that in, and that was very interesting process. The Board of Adjustment heard the case. The Schwartz were there. Some of the neighbors were there. They dialed in by Zoom too. And the Board of Adjustment could see basically what they said was they weren't sure why that 30 feet was never developed in the first place, because the other parcels are 30 feet around that cul-de-sac. And they did not see any problem with allowing that construction to happen within that 30 feet of right-of-way. And I guess I was a little surprised by that. Very rarely do they not accept the advice of the township.
Right.
So I think this is going forward. Mr. Kennedy was there, so was Mr. Wells, and both of them were adamant that they were not happy with that decision. But that then goes on to the zoning board itself for a decision. And then they explain the appeal process. And I believe that those guys will go through some kind of an appeal, or they will set down some kind of legal boundaries so that their properties are not violated when they put that, all those utilities in that 30-foot corridor.
Hmm.
You know, it was unfortunate because there was 6 feet of snow on the ground and you really couldn't see anything when they went to inspect it that morning. And so I was disappointed, but at the same time, they could not see a hardship for him. I mean, they thought that was a hardship, that he couldn't get through that 30 feet. So
Hmm.
I guess we could request some minutes from that meeting. I'll see if I can follow up with the zoning board and see what's happened.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be seeing them about a driveway permit.
Yeah, and then a rezone, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
They're still gonna run
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Wow, tough one. Tough one.
all right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. the
And I'll
motion.
second that. Thanks, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next month. Get out and vote.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
See ya.